Greetings, friends. Microphone's over here. This is what happens when I am thoroughly unprepared. Oh. Which, of course, is the intended purpose of this particular playlist. Yes, another playlist. First, let me tell you, welcome to the inaugural episode of Incantus Phylacterium. What does that mean? I'll get to that in a moment. And why bother? I will also try to cover that. I've got some notes, but I'm going to try to do something on this channel, this playlist, which is uniquely different from the other material, and that is this is intended to be unscripted, which you can see is already going extremely poorly. This is why I over prepare for everything. Except the dream interviews. I can't seem to over prepare for those. I mean, I have a methodology which allows me to try to stay on track, and but I digress. So, pull up my notes here. Oh my goodness. I'm probably going to delete this, or at least sleep on it before I upload it. See if I want people to see me being so horribly confused. Hey, who knows? Maybe people find it charming. Maybe I'll appear to be less intimidating to those who would like a dream interview, but think I'm someone, pretentiously overestimating my self-importance. I hope no one sees me that way, but I worry sometimes. We have more cat visitors today. I'm going to try not to let them stop the video. Hey, maybe at this point that would be a good idea, but anyway, so what is Incantus Phylacterium? First, anyone familiar with Greek or Latin root words will know that I just made these words completely up, but they do have actual meaning, and they may be actually formulated properly in terms of conjugation of Greek and Latin words. Hell if I know. So, what are we doing here? What does that mean? Incantus is based on the, I think, Greek root of canto, meaning to sing or to speak, or rough estimation there. So it's also the root word of incantation, which is a magical phrase. I've got that kind of theme of magic going on my channel, so trying to stick with that. So this is speaking. This is me speaking. Incantus. Phylacterium. A phylactery is most... my notes keep turning off, is most closely related to the idea of a container. It can be a vial, as in a magic potion. It can be an amulet or other, some people have, let's say, like a droplet of blood in a necklace, or ashes of a relative. These are all phylacteries, a container. So, Incantus Phylacterium, what is that? This is a container for my words. This is a place where I just come and talk off the cuff, as poorly as that may turn out, but we shall see if I get more accustomed to it as we go along. So that is the definition. But why? Why did I make this list? Well, there's just or a playlist. There's not a lot of other places where I can just ramble. The regular viewer will say, "Ben, you ramble all the time in your videos." Fair enough. That's too specific. To the specific dream and the information contained there. And this is kind of a catch-all for everything else. But I also, what was I going to do with this first episode? Maybe just explain myself a little bit about what this new playlist is supposed to be. But also, I figured, it would make a good episode, number one, to explain why I have multiple playlists and what each one means. So it would make a good first rant. And I'm already 5 minutes in, and I'm intending to keep these short, under 10 minutes, so we'll see if I can cover the material in that amount of time. So first, you'll notice on my channel there are multiple playlists. Starts with the What Dreams May Come playlist at the top. Why is that at the top? Well, these episodes are short clips of just the dreamer telling their dream. And I want people to use that as kind of a reference list. You can sort through those a minute and a half, like the most recent one, or 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10-minute dream descriptions. Find a dream you find interesting, a dream that you want to know more about, and then you can find the corresponding episode under my Dreamscapes playlist, which is, of course, the second playlist. Those are the full dream interpretation videos. Excuse me. They go on as long as the dreamer wants to keep talking. So I've got some that are, one of them I think is like 45 minutes. Bam, we got in, got out, got it done, achieved some kind of meaning. One of them recently went up to 3.5 hours because we just had a lot to talk about, and most specifically, the dreamer had additional questions. So I'm just going to keep talking as long as people want to. Really, as I keep saying, really wanting to make this my day job. So I'm in it for the marathon. I'm in it to give the dreamer the experience I hope they want out of talking to me, out of analyzing their dream and coming to some satisfying understanding of the imagery and experience, and how they can maybe apply that to their life, what unique insights it gives them about themselves and the questions they're considering and the answers that might best serve them, yada yada, on and on. So that's the second playlist. So we've got What Dreams May Come, kind of a teaser trailer playlist, Dreamscapes, the full interview sessions, and then we've got my ABC series called ABCs of Dream Interpretation, but that stands for Augury, Bibliomancy, and Chaos. And I feel like I got an eyelash in my eye. I probably do. Good times. We'll see if I leave this in or cut it out, hey? So what is the ABC series, and what does Augury, Bibliomancy, and Chaos stand for? Augury, the original definition of the word is it's divination. It's finding meaning in a dream, or omens or symbols, the interpretation of symbology and stuff. So augury, seeking and finding meaning. Bibliomancy, as I've explained in other interviews recently, if you caught that on the say Skeptic Metaphysician, one of my first interviews on another person's channel. Bibliomancy, the classical definition is a very specific process of, say, randomly flipping through the Bible, putting your finger on a page and looking at the word you're pointing to, and this is used by some, or considered by some, to be a manner of augury, a manner of receiving a message from God. The randomness of doing such a behavior must, these people assume, be God inspired, and therefore directing you to a specific passage, a specific word, and then that is meant to guide you or give you understanding. And honestly, I would say anybody could do that with just about any text. Randomly open a book, stab at a paragraph and read it and see if you can pull something out. It's, without trying to be insulting, it's about as accurate as, say, reading horoscopes. You can pull meaning out of just about anything, as long as there's a self-reflective process to it. You're actually seeking to find something and applying what you see to yourself. I would hesitate to endorse the idea that true bibliomancy, in the classical definition of the term, is necessarily predictive or future fortune telling. I would actually class it in the quasi, what's the word for it? Paranormal category of other types of fortune telling that I'm not a fan of, in terms of me being a highly skeptical, scientific minded person. I'm willing to believe anything. I'm a credulous skeptic, but my bar for belief is pretty high, and most of these methods seem to, in my estimation, fall short. So long story short, what do I mean by bibliomancy? Well, I'm using it in a more broad sense. Biblio as in book, mancy, magic, so like book magic. I turn that to the idea of information gathered, as in through reading my college textbooks in psychology, through reading more recent studies, self-education, autodidactic learning that I've performed over the 20 years. So in my sense, I'm trying to augur divine meaning from the application of my bibliomancy, my study in in chaos, and the chaos comes from the world is a chaotic place. As much as it seems to have natural physical laws, it is still very strange and unknown. The amount of things we do not know far eclipses the very tiny slice of things we've kind of nailed down and we're mostly sure about, but we might even be wrong about those things. So the chaos is also the chaos of human interaction. I never know what's going to happen in an interview, and I never know what the dream. I get a heads up sometimes on the dream content, but I try to, number one, not remember and not really strongly pay attention to that, because I want the interpretation to come from speaking with the dreamer in the moment. It's the chaos of that. You never know what's going to happen. So this is where my brain goes on this type of stuff. I like clever ways of expressing myself. So ABCs is, it's the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the simplified version of things, the basics. But it's also a very complex and long. I've been talking about this for like 5 minutes, this one playlist. So now so we got What Dreams May Come. We've got the Dreamscapes interview series. We've got the ABC channel, which I'm still trying to get my feet on. Not really sure what to do with it, but I know I want to use it as a method of communicating ideas, principles. You've seen some of the episodes, assuming you've watched them, that I've put up that are snippets from dream interviews, just short things where I try to use that portion of the discussion to highlight a principle in psychology or communicate an idea that I think is important, that I would want people to understand in the way that I do. I also have my DreamWizard Plays channel, which there's not a lot of videos up there. They're maybe not very interesting, but I like to play video games, and why not just put it up? It's content. I'd love to do more live streaming in the future, and just maybe invite people into chat, take questions, play video games with viewers. I mean, my favorite type of game is Left 4 Dead 2 specifically, although I played the original way back in, 2006. But I like basically cooperative, team-based PvE, player versus environment challenges, where I'm working together with other human beings it's very similar to what I do with the dream interview stuff, because I am there working with someone on a project to accomplish something together that we could not do independently. That's what I like. So even this state of mind, my preferences, my enjoyment factor comes very much in line with what I'm doing with video games and as a model with my Dreamscapes interview series. So that is What Dreams May Come, Dreamscapes interviews, ABC videos, DreamWizard Plays, and now a new channel, the Incantus Phylacterium, where I just ramble and hopefully people find this interesting. I can explain myself, and you could, I don't know, I've been ranting so long now I can't remember if I actually defined it. I mean, you could think of this channel as just the place I keep my words. And I think that's probably about it. I am having the same problem now that I do with most videos. I have no idea how to end it. I think I've covered all the topics I wanted to relate. Yeah. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm probably going to put this video up and not edit a damn thing. You can watch me fumble, and I'm just going to have to be embarrassed by that and hope that people find it interesting. But these are my, shall we say, raw, unscripted thoughts. And what you're going to get is disorganized mess. But I hope people find it interesting. So I'll just say, hey, thanks for listening.